Assistant Professor, School of Management, working in Annamacharya University, Rajanpet, Kadapa District. In this video, I will explain about the functions of management. So here is in every organization, either it may be business organization or maybe non-business organization, it requires the management. So here is management means what the manager do. In other words, maybe management is the art of getting things done through the others. So here is before going to the functions of management, it can be some of the authors they are given as a different functions of management. So according to the Kunz, the management functions are planning, organizing, staffing, then directing, commanding and controlling. So and another one is according to the Luther Gulick, who was proposed and developed by the postcard. Postcard means P stands for the planning, O stands for the organizing, and S stands for the staffing, and D stands for the directing, and CO means coordination, and R means reporting, and B means budget. And similarly, according to the Henry Boyle, the functions of management are planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. So, according to the other behavioral scientists like Elton Mayo, or otherwise M.C. Greger, Douglas M.C. Greger, Chester Ibold, the management functions are they are given as a three functions: leadership, motivation, and communication. So, from the above all, it can be generalized into there are five functions: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. In that controlling, we have four functions. First one is a leading, then second one is a motivating, and then commanding, and last one is a communication. So it can be explained very one by one. So first point is planning. So the planning it requires each and every human being, and as well as the planning it requires for each and every organization. Organization means in terms of a manufacturing industry, in terms of a service sector industry, or maybe in terms of a trading sector industry. The planning is very essential for all the business enterprises. So here is the meaning of planning is it is a simple terminology. It is a future course of the action. So the elements of the plans are forecasting, budget, schedules, programs, policies, then programs. These are all some of the elements of the plans. So here is without forecasting, without objectives, and without budget, we are not fulfilling of our plans. Why? Because suppose for example budget. So it requires to fulfilling or to implementation of those planning. That is the first option. Next, second one is organizing. So organizing is also one of the function. It is performed by each and every management. So the manager or maybe the superior is the assigning the work to his subordinates based upon his authority and his responsibility. That is the meaning of organizing. Then go for your third point is staffing. Staffing means in general layman called as a stick for support, or maybe in other words it is a maybe assistance given to his superiors. So for example, if I am a subordinate in a particular organization, if I am an assistant to the so and so manager or maybe so and so department HOD or maybe department maybe superior. So that is the meaning of staffing. In other words, staffing means filling the position in an organization. The functions of it can be covered as maybe human resource planning, recruitment, selection, training, development, promotion, transfer, performance appraisal. These are all some of the functions involved in staffing functions. Then go for next fourth one is directing. So directing is also requiring for each and every individual and as well as each and every organization. Suppose for example, the manager or otherwise the HOD or otherwise maybe the superior is always giving the orders, giving the instruction to his subordinates. So in this one, in directing function, we have four things. First one is a leading, next one is a motivation, next one is a communication and coordination. So in this one, I will explain the first one is a motivation. So here motivation it is essential required for the each and every human being and each and every organization. Why? Because suppose for example the parent is always motivating to his children. Suppose take example of a faculty member. The faculty member is always motivating to his students. Similarly, in organization, the HOD is always motivating to his subordinates. So these are the normal examples. So the layman part as a motivation means encouragement. In our maybe HR language or maybe management language, it is called stimulating the employee. Who is stimulating here means the superior is always stimulating to his subordinates. In general sense, the motivation there are two categories, two types. The first one is a monetary incentives. The second one is a non-monetary incentives. Monetary incentives means in terms of a hiking for a salary, they are given as a bonus. So the things only it is happening in quantified by the only monetary terms or maybe money terms. That is the meaning of a motivation, monetary incentives. Non-monetary incentives in terms of a awards, rewards and praise. So nowadays also some of the organization we are using the instead of the monetary incentives we are using the superior is always go for a non-monetary incentives also. Sometimes it is going for happening for a praising. Sometimes we are providing the they are providing the maybe awards and rewards. These are all the examples related to the motivation. Then go for your next one. Indirectly, second point is leading. The manager or maybe the superior, one who leads his group. Take example of any superior. That group of the employees they are leading in terms of all the aspects. So that is the second thing. Then go for your next one is communication. Communication is also essential for the each and every organization. So here is the communication is not only for a transmitting of a information from one place to the other place. The examples of organization side is a maybe circular is also one of the example. Memos is also one of the example. Notices is also one of the example. For example, if the principal has issued to the circular to the among all the students. So that is also one of the example which is related to the communication point of view. Notice also one of the example. Then memos is also one of the example. So actually in general sense, communication for fulfilling of communication it requires the two participants. First one is a sender, the second one is a receiver. Sender means one who making of a messages, one who maybe prepare the message or prepare the information or prepare the reports. The second one is receiver means one who receives the message or otherwise one who receives the reports. That is the meaning of a communication point of view. Then go for a next one is coordination. Coordination is also essential for the each and every organization. Why? Because in organization, according to Henry Coyle, the first principle is division of labor or maybe division of the work. So the working will be divided based upon their skills, knowledge. So that's why it is happening for it is requiring for a coordination among all the faculty, among all the employees in an organization. For example, if I am working in a MBA department, if it is possible, I will go for a maybe some other subject, maybe BFA, maybe management science, or maybe some other subject dealing with the another department. That maybe we are coordinating with the another department. That is also one of the example related coordination point of view. So then go for a next one is the functions of management here is controlling. So general sense, according to layman, in controlling means we are controlling of maybe employees, controlling of maybe goods, or maybe controlling of a stock. That is not a thing here. So controlling means here in general language, it is a feedback. To take the feedback whether the objectives are reached or not, whether the